Hello guys, welcome back. So hope you are well, and then we are going to learn in this series, that is React API with the JSON server, and hope you have seen the last video. And in this series you are going to learn total how to read the data from JSON server, how to write the data into JSON server, how to edit, how to delete, completely full crude operation based on API of JSON server with React. It's helpful for you. So hope you are watching the video and you have seen already the previous video, and hope you have implemented the routing. In the previous video, I have already explained. You can see this 3 pages I have made. Their routing was implemented. It's a hash routing, hash router I have follow, hash router I have follow from the React, and then in the previous video, static pages I have made and I have shown you already. If you have not seen the first video, you can have a look into that. Right now, in this, we are going to see how to set up the JSON server, and then how to save the data in that, how to read the data from JSON server, how to edit and delete. Okay. So again, another request, if you have not subscribed yet to the CRM Software Academy, I request you, you can subscribe it. It's helpful for you. You will keep on getting the notification for upcoming, you can say, videos that will help you to enhance your skill. Okay. So let's come back. First, I will show you the demo, how this project is going to work. And then I'll go to the code level and let's start writing from beginning. So I'll give you first demo. First, see the routing we have made. So that's dashboard page was there, new employee, and then employee list. Now three component I have, this data is coming. Now let's show you first, this is my new employee page where we will fill the data, and this data will go to this file. I can show you, I have a file here, user.json file, here data.json file. Under this data.json file, we are going to store the data. You can see here, as of now, I have 3 records. If I delete any record from here, if I delete the last one, you can see it will get removed from my list. I'll go here and you can see total 2 only is coming. Total 2 is coming, right? So those things we are going to see. So overall, we have a data under the JSON file, and from JSON file, we are going to read it and we are going to display. So let's see the demo first. So dashboard as of now, it's empty. So new employee we have, I'll go to the new employee. I'll enter the details here, any name called Alex, and then I'll enter the mobile number. Now after that, I'll enter the department, college marketing, and then I'll enter the salary, somewhere 50,000. Let me click on save button, save employee. You can see it is saying Alex save successfully. Let me go to the employee list page, whether my employee got added under the list or not. See, you can see Alex is added here. Let me add one more employee, Sumit, and I'll enter the number. Let me come to the department IT software, and his salary is 75,000. Let me save employee. It's saying Sumit saved successfully. If I go to my employee list page, you can see a total 4 employees coming. Alex and Sumit I have added. It is coming here, right? Now let's look into the JSON file, how it's getting added. See here, I had 2 employee already before. I have added the Alex, it came here. I added the Sumit, that also appear, right? That meaning you can say our React is able to communicate with the JSON server from a JSON file. And now we are going to understand how this entire thing is happening and how you should start learning from where and what are the things we need to do to complete this. Now I will be going to the, first I'll go to the JSON server. I'll set up the JSON. I'll show you how to set up the JSON. Then I'll come back to the React. Again, I'll tell you, in case if you have not seen the previous video, please follow the first video. complete those things in your system, then watch the second video. Will be helpful, and it's very very meaningful. Whenever any company will give the assignment, that time they will ask you to do the in the JSON server and complete and send me the task, right? So make sure you are following properly, and it is very very helpful. Okay, so let me come back to the my JSON server folder. I have created one file here, that is user.json. Let me delete everything from here. In fact, I will close my file. I'll close here everything. I'll go here and I'll close all the file from the server folder. So you can see I deleted everything. So all is deleted. Now let me close my CMD also. Here CMD was running here, right? So I'll go to this JSON API folder. You can see my folder structure as well. Here I have a React one, that is a React project, and there is a JSON API, it's a JSON server. I'm going to set up in that. I'll open the CMD inside, open the CMD, and at this place I will be writing npm install. I'll show you the guide also. Here is the guide, this line. This two line we are going to do. npm install -g JSON hyphen server. Enter. So it is going to set up the JSON server in my system. I have given -g, that means globally. Let it take, it may take 1 minute to get set up. So hope it's going on. Installation is going on. Yeah, it's happening. Right. Our second step will be, we will be running the npm init command. npm init command will help you to create a package.json file. That package.json file will hold the information about your JSON server. What are the things, what are the file, what are the, which is the main file. So hope it's done here, right? Now I'm going to run the second command, npm init, npm init, enter. So it is going to ask some information from me. Let me give the information. It is asking what should be the package name. I'll give here call JSON API or my API. Enter. It is asking version 0.0. Let it be. Description, you can write something. My API. Enter. Is asking default should be index.js. No problem. Enter. Test command. Let's enter. Get repository. Enter. Keywords. Enter. It's asking the author name. If you can give your name, you can give. I'm giving my name, Sierra. Enter. License, nothing. So it is asking in the last, is this okay? Press the enter. Yes, everything is fine. Right? So JSON package is installed, JSON server is installed, and we have initialized the package.json file also. You can see here package.json file is ready. I can open and I'll show you what are the information is added. You can say just basic information about your package, right? Let's go ahead. So this is done. Now next step is what? In this server, in this JSON API server, you have to create one file. So let me create one file also, that is called data.json. I'll create the file here, saying like in which folder you will create the file, under the JSON API folder, and your file name will be, you can give anything. I'll write here called data.json, right? This data.json file is going to keep some code by default like this, where I will be storing my employee under this object. In case if you have some other information, maybe product, you can store under the product object. If you have some other information, maybe client, you can store under the client object. So you saw here I added some record, right? Not record, I created three objects, employee, product, and client. Let me go to the my employee object, and inside I will add one employee details. Example, I'll give ID. I'll give as a ID, maybe one, starting from one. Then I'll give your name, hardcode value. I'm adding one hardcode value just to show you. Okay. Now Name, maybe I'll keep my name, Siaram. After that, we can add one more key called mobile. We can add here some value, no problem. Come down below and write another one is called, you can say department, maybe IT you can keep. Come down below. Next, you keep another key called salary. Keep something, right? So you saw here one employee details we added. So now question is how to call this. So you saw the first step, we have installed the JSON. Second step, we run the npm init. Now third step, we are going to run this file. Which file? Data.json file. So for that, you have to run this command. I'll guide you. This is the command. Okay, or let me type here. The command you will be writing JSON hyphen, we are going to start the server. JSON hyphen server space minus minus watch. Watch. Again, which file? That is called data.json. And what should be the port number? Because 3000 is the port number for React. So I'll give here called port space 3002. Enter. So you can also make a note of this whenever you are going to run. Say my JSON server is started and it is saying like you can access your employee on localhost colon 3002 employee. You can access your product also. You can access your client also. So let me go to my browser and try to access my record. Localhost 3002 and I'll enter here. It will show me the JSON server information. See, JSON server information is coming, but we wanted to see our URL is called employee. Enter. You can see here one employee details is coming, right? So you can see one API got ready that is running on localhost 3002 port number and their path is called what is employee. In case if I write here called client, it will show me the empty. See empty because here the client is still empty. You can see client is empty, product is empty, only employee has some data. That's what I called here. Which one? Employee. EMP hello employee. Right? So you saw data is coming here. So my JSON server is set up and I have added one file. I added one employee. I tested it well, right? So hope you got idea how to set up the JSON server. Right. Next, you are going to see the React part. In React, routing was already done. You have seen already in the previous video. Now in the React, first I'll come to the employee list page and to show you how to fetch the data from that employee. So let's go ahead. As you have seen in my previous video, employee component was ready, and in employee component, now I am going to add the data, and that data I'll show you why we are adding and where we are adding. So till here, till here, till here, see, I deleted the entire code. Basic information I have kept here. And what are the things you need to call, since this is going to be as functional component, completely hook based. So first what I have to do, I have to import here that two thing. React I was already called in yesterday file. You can go today and go to the EMP list and follow here called use state, comma, use effect also. Use effect also. You call this both. Use state is going to help you for the state management and use effect is going to help you at runtime. It will help you to read the data from the JSON file. So till here it is ready. Now I'll show you what is happening in my browser. You can see in my browser, I don't have any data. Only this page is there. Only the layout static page is designed. So I will guide you. I will suggest you. So if you are going to work on this employee list, what you should do? First, you can design this table and then come back. Let me delete this table also. Delete it. Just delete it. I'll write trace for you. Okay, everything deleted. Let's come up first. Read the data from that file. Which file? That port number we have given. See here, the port number is running to get the employee data. Let me take this and I'll come here and I will write here a constant URL equal to where you are going to read the data. So we are going to read the data from this URL. Okay. After that, I'll follow another constant that is called emp list and a function update emp list, right? And after that, definitely you have to use the use state here, and inside that you have to keep a square bracket. Nothing but you can see emp list become as a array and update emp list, update emp, I'll keep here, update emp become as a function. Okay, let me increase the font size. Right, so hope is visible properly. Okay, now after that, let's come here. Write a function called constant get emp equal to fat arrow function I followed here. See, I follow the fat arrow function. Now inside this fat arrow function, what I will do is I will be using the fetch method here. I will show you both fetch method as well as Axios both. So in this, I will be following the fetch method to read the data from that URL. So what I'll do is fetch URL dot then response. That is the content of that JSON file, the content from that URL. That content you have to apply a response dot JSON. After that, because we are getting the data in the JSON format, next we have to apply the then to get the actual data. All EMP. All EMP. Now this all EMP, you have to pass to this update EMP function here. Update EMP function, or let me show you the alert first. Alert. Okay. All EMP dot length. All EMP dot length. Okay, so this become my complete a function based on fetch API that is going to read the data from this URL. That is going to read the data from this URL. That URL is nothing but my JSON server. Now coming down, I will follow here called use effect. Use effect like the you can say it execute after component did mount. It's same like the component did mount under the regex under the class component. So this syntax is little different. Now I went here and I will be calling this function get emp. Get emp function I called here, right? Now let's see, run the page, and if I go to the emp list, I should see the length of the employee, how many employee we have under that file. So as you saw, I have stored one employee I have stored there just for testing purpose. Let me come to the browser, go to my page. See, it's saying undefined. Saying is undefined. Let me see why undefined. All emp dot length length is was missing. Length spelling was missing here. Length we given all emp dot length. Now it should work. Let me go to the employee list. See, it's showing as one, right? Let me come back again and refresh the page. It's saying as one employee, right? That is the data of this file, data.json file. Let me come back now here. So we don't want to keep as alert. We want to pass to EMP list. So to update the data under the EMP list, you have to call their associated function. That is called update EMP. That I have already explained you under the hooks. Hooks, use state and use effect. Another video is there. You can have a look into that. So in that I have explained properly. That is called how hooks work, what is and how the use state works, that you can have a look into the previous video. So I'll go here and I'll call the function called update emp, update emp function, and inside I'll pass a all emp. So all emp, where it will go, all emp will go to the update emp, and from update emp it will pass to where, emp list, right? Now we got ready to print the length of the employee. So let me go here and write here a emp list, emp list dot length, emp list dot length, right? Save the file and let's look into the browser. Are we getting the length or not? Use effect will get called on component did mount. Once your component will get executed, then use effect will call, and it will call the function called get imply. Get imply will read the data from here and it will pass to the update emp. Update emp will send to the emp list, and we are printing the length here. So let me go here and see. Awesome. You can see it's showing one imply, right? One imply is coming, right? Let's see the flow, what is happening. First, we require the use state to maintain the state. We require use effect to call a function automatically, else you have to keep a button, right? After that, we wrote a function called getEmp. Under the getEmp function, with the help of fetch method, I'm trying to read the data from this JSON server URL, and after that, after reading the data, we are passing to update emp, that is the hooks function. Update emp will pass your data to emp list. Update emp will pass the data to emp list. And as soon as you update under the emp list, your length will appear here. You saw here, right? So let me go to the browser and confirm once, right? So here emp1 is coming. Now let's list it. So I'll go here and I'll create a table. Simple table I'll follow. I have created a class, not class, is the ID, I guess. emp list, emp list, emp list ID I have created, that is available in my CSS file. I'll show you here. Emp list ID I have created, that is here, that you can use, right? So CSS you can write from your side how look and feel you want. The major thing is here to understand that JSON part, how to read the data from JSON. So let me come back to this file and I'll write here a tr and write the th. First th will be emp number. Second th, I'll keep here call employee name. Third th, I'll keep here call mobile number. Fourth th, I'll keep here, that is called department. And fifth th, I'll keep here, that is called salary. Now let me keep a bg color here, some pink color I'll give for tr. And for the tr for table, I have written some CSS for the spacing purpose. Let's look here. It's look like this. So you can say emp name, emp number, employee name, mobile number, department, salary. This is coming. Now we need to print the data here. So let me go. Our data is available under the emp list and it has already called on page load. Okay. Now after that, let me go here and follow a map function that is called emp list dot map, and I'll write here called emp info comma a index variable comma a index variable. Fat arrow method will follow here, and inside we will write call return and return as a tr. For this tr, the first td will be employee number. Now I'll go to that JSON file. I'll show you td tr open close, td open close. Look at the JSON file. This is called ID here, that we are going to call as a EMP number. So ID name, mobile, department, salary. So those four you are going to print. ID name, mobile, department and salary. You are going to print here. So what you will print? You will print like EMP info dot ID. Okay. I'll print again EMP info dot name. Fine. Now after that, let's have a look into the browser whether ID and name is printing or not. If ID and name is printing, then we can print remaining others. And meanwhile, before running the page, don't forget to apply the props called key as a index. It will make your every TR as a unique element. Okay, now I will go to the browser and I'll show you. Awesome, you can see EMP ID and name is coming. I have written the border bottom for the TR, so you don't worry. For the TH, I have written border bottom, because of that border is coming here in the CSS file. Let me follow the next TD, that is called, we can print the mobile, we can print the department, we can print the salary. So we have here a property inside the JSON file that is called mobile. And in the same JSON file, we have another property that is called DEPT. 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 Correct? DEPT. Now let me show you whether name, mobile and salary is missing in the last. Let's keep one more TR here for the salary purpose. Salary. Right? Now we will look into the browser and we'll see whether are we getting the data. Awesome. It's coming here. Serial number, name, mobile, department, salary, correct? All the data are coming. So what we did, first come look into the JSON file. In the JSON file, we have employee object that is running on the port number 3002, and there we have a employee with the ID, name, mobile, department and salary is the key. Key name is called ID, name, mobile, department and salary. DPT and salary, sorry. Now when I come to my loop, list file, we wrote a function to fetch the data. Then we use the use effect to call the function onload. After that, we wrote a map function to apply the loop on the array. And finally, ID, name, mobile, DPT, and salary. We are printing. This key is coming from the JSON file. Keep remembering this key, DPT, mobile, name, ID, and salary is coming from the JSON file. I'll show you again here. These all are here. ID, name, mobile, department, and salary. Okay. And it must be the same as you have in the JSON. Now we save the file and let me have a look into the browser. You can see my data is coming properly. Now next target will be this form. Fill the data here and display here, right? So hope guys you understood the flow. What we have, this JSON server must be running on a particular port number, okay? And after that, okay, we have done a mistake here. What is that? See, it's a continuous calling, right? So there is a problem here. Look at here. Whenever you call the use effect at this place, you have to keep a true. This is true is why use effect must have a function that is okay, but at last you have to pass second parameter as a true under the square bracket. This is why, because your server is getting heat again and again. You have seen in my here. See, it earlier it was continuous, it was calling. Now it's got a stop. This is for what purpose? Use effect function needs second parameter as a number of time to execute. So we given as a true. True is nothing but one. So what will happen? Use effect function will call only one time and it will not hit your JSON server again and again. If in case if you are not writing the true in the last, your server will start getting hit and again and your server will get stop at a particular certain moment. Okay. So that mistake we should not do. So let's have a look again. EMP list is a component, functional component. It is based on use state and use effect. And after that, we have a URL. We have a constant that is based on use state. Constant name is called EMP list and update EMP is the function. Get EMP function is reading the data from this URL and after that it is passing to update EMP. Update EMP will pass the data to EMP list. Now below we have written And then this function we are calling on use based on use effect. Now after that we have a length we are printing here, and inside the table we are rendering the data. And what you need to remember, map function you know already. You need to know this what we are printing, emp info dot id, name, mobile, department, salary. This is the key in your JSON file. Look at here again. This is the key in your JSON file. ID, name, it should be same. It's a case sensitive also. Okay, so we have done with the listing. Now we need to see how to save the data. Okay, it's the simple, nothing to worry. Let's come back to the new emp file. Okay, in the new emp file I have written some code here. I will delete it, I'll guide you again, and we'll see how it is going to happen. Okay, so let me go here and delete this section. Everything I'll delete from there. Delete it. Here use state I have called here, it is not necessary, not required use state here. Oh no, use state is required. Okay, so in your yesterday file you have not written the use state. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and install, call here use state as well. Use state, right? Use state we called. Now after that you need to install this command. Okay, please go to your cmd and install this command. npm install axios. Please install this one. Please install. I have already installed. Okay, so I have already run the npm install axios. So I have already installed. I'm going to import that. Import axios from axios. Right now, till here it is ready. Let me come down. I'll delete all the content from my page, whichever the content I have written here. So I have deleted everything. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. All content is gone. Just division is open and division is closed here. Correct? See, division is open and just it's closed and nothing else inside the page. Okay, I'll write here on h1 saying like add new add new employee, add new employee, add new employee. Let me look into my browser whether it is coming or not. It showed some error. Let me correct it. It's saying here add employee, right? So page is loading. Now go to the list employee. Data is there, nothing to worry. Okay, come to the add employee. So in add employee now, first we have to design a form. Okay, so design a form. Right here, a table based I'll try. And I have created one ID in my CSS. I'll show you here. That ID is called new EMP. This is the CSS I have written for new EMP. You can write in your CSS file. It will give little better look and feel to the table. It look proper. Okay. So you can write the CSS in your which file? In index.css file. Let me go back to the new EMP. So I'll go here, write ID equal to new EMP. Let me come back with a tr, same like a th, employee name, one th and one td. Inside the td, input type equal to text, and I have written one class for the text box also. I'll show you here. I have written a class in the last that is called input box. You can write this to CSS in your style.css file. Okay, these two CSS you can write in your style.css file. You can pause for the video for some time. You can write it and then come back to which file? New EMP. So I'll write here class call, class name I should follow, class name equal to input box. Okay, so this we done. Now let me copy this tr and go ahead. Next tr, employee name. After that, his mobile number. Right. After that, I'll take his department. Department. And after that, I'll take his salary. Correct. And we required one button also. Here with a th, call span equal to 2. Come inside, write a button, call save employee. And guys, for button also I have written one CSS. I'll show you. So let's look from beginning. We added here employee name one tr. Next tr is for mobile number. Next tr is for the department. Next tr is for the best of the salary. And next tr is for the a button. Now the CSS I have already shown you for the class input box, and for button also I have written one CSS. I'll show you. Look at here. I have a CSS for button. This is the CSS. You can write it. Okay, this CSS you can add in your index.css file. After that, it will be helpful for you. It will change the look and feel of your button. And anyhow, design is your requirement. Functionality has to be design. You can write from your side. So this is the button CSS you can add. Now I have done with the HTML code. Let me see in the browser what I am getting the output. You see here, it's coming. I think we required some cell padding. Some cell padding we can give so that it will look better. So let me go for this table and I'll write here call cell padding some number, maybe 10. So between the cells there will be some space inside. Inside the cell tstd space will get cell padding I applied as a 19. Let me look into the browser. Awesome. I have written some CSS effect also on focus and button CSS already I have shown you. Right. So this is the page. Now what is the target? Target is when we fill the data here, click on save. This data should go to this JSON file, and finally that data should reflect under the employee list. Correct. Then you can say one place you are saving and you are storing under the JSON server, and again from JSON server you are reading and displaying, right? So let me go to the where EMP file now. Since it is a class, a functional component, and I believe you have installed already this one, npm install Axios, right? Now let's go ahead and use effect we have already, use state we have called already. Now we need to create the constants. For what purpose? One constant to take the name, another constant to take the mobile number, another variable to take the department, another variable to take the which one? Salary. Correct. So for that, since it's a hooks, so you have to create the constant here. Constant call emp name, comma process name equal to use state and just give as a empty. And then we will ask how the use state is working. Then in this we cannot explain everything from very bottom. I have already created one video that is called use state and hooks under the React. You can see that video and then you will get better idea. It is just for the state management. Okay, so in that you can say like emp name is the variable and process emp name is the function. Same way, we have to create some more. So let me do that. Total 4 variable we required. So I will be creating 4 variable and one more variable for message purpose. So I'll write here the first one called emp mobile. Second one will be called emp dept. Third will be called emp salary, and last one will be called message, because we need to display the message to user, right? And change here the function called process mobile, change the function called process department, dept, change the function here called process salary, change the function here called message process message. Okay, now with the help of these functions, we are going to pick the value from the text boxes and store under the variable, and from there we can see what we can do of that variable. Okay, now come down, this message we can print here, the message variable we have, let's print it directly here as a message, so that printing related activity is done. So whenever we want to print any message, we can call the process message, pass the data, process message will pass to message, and message is already printing here. Okay, now next thing to understand, we need to pick the value from the text boxes with the help of this function. Okay, so let's go and come back here and write on change, on change equal to, on change equal to, call the function, call, not call the function directly in the hooks, there is a different way to pick the value from the text box. Okay, so I'll create a object here, and with the help of object I will try to call that function, which function, process name, and inside the process name we can pass object dot target dot value, overall the value of the current text box. Okay, the object is pointing to this current function, current element, and when the user start typing anything, with the help of this object, character by character, you will pick the value and you will pass to this function. And once you pass the value to this function process name, from process name, it will assign to EMP name. Okay, now come back below. Do the similar for the next. So I'll go here and right here for the text box, next mobile, on change equal to, okay, or best way to understand in easy way, let's come and test whether your code is working or not. First one. Okay, so this is the function, right? With the help of this function, your value will go to where? EMP name, right? Let me write a function here called save. Const save equal to this one. I'll come down and I'll alert here the EMP name. Okay, to check whether one text box is working or not. So we done this one till here. Right. After that, I'll come down below. On button click, we'll call this function, call save function. User will type the value. Value will go to where? Process name. From process name, it will go to the EMP name. Button click will call the function, and function will give the alert. We will test whether value is coming or not. So let's come down below, and we have a button here. On click, call the save function, right? On click, call the save function. After that, on click equal to call the save function. Let's test now. So this is the flow. I will go here. I will enter my name here, SIYARAM, and CRM, and I'll click on save employee. You can see value is coming. That meaning our functionality is working. Whatever we have entered there, on key press, the value is passing to where? Function, right? So alert is coming properly. That meaning our function is working here. This function is working, and on change character by character is going to process name is passing to EMP name, and on button click you are calling the EMP name, alert is happening, right? Let's come back. Let's do the next for the mobile. On change equal to, create one more object event and call here process mobile, and inside that you will write obj dot target dot value. what will happen now? The value of the mobile field will go to where? Process mobile, and process mobile it will assign to where? EMP mobile, right? So hope you understood the flow. Now let's come down on change equal to, again create a object, right arrow, call the function process, that is called department, process DEPT, process DEPT, and inside pass obj dot target dot value, correct? So same way we will come down and we'll do for the salary also. On change equal to, create a object, and with the help of fat arrow function, call the function call process salary, and inside that pass the object dot obj dot target dot value, that meaning the value of current text box passed to where? Process salary, right? So you saw that. Let me revise again. On change process name, on change process mobile, on change process department, on change process salary, and on click call the save function. So while typing, your value will go to the variable here, and on click now function will call, and this function will send the data to JSON server. How it will be? Let's go. Create a file variable here called emp info equal to, right there, id. ID no need to pass. We need to pass only the name of the EMP. ID will get generated automatically there. Name, that is under the EMP name, correct? Next we have called salary. See, it should not be different. It should be same as like this. Look at here. We have here, I'll copy that content and I'll write here. See, it should not be difference. So what you should do, you can go to your JSON server file and copy one line if you have any problem, and come here and add in this like this, correct? So the key should remain same. The key we have, it should remain same, and what will get changed? The value will get changed. That is called EMP name, correct? Here what we have called EMP mobile. Here what we have? EMP DEPT, right? Here we have EMP salary. So hope it's clear. So key remains same, whereas the value will be different. Value is your variable. Now we have the EMP info. Okay, right. So finally we have created the array. That array we are going to send to the JSON server to add inside the list. Look at here. Hope you have installed the this line, and after that I'm going to follow this Axios. Come down below. I will be writing here axios.post. Inside that you have to pass the URL, like to which URL you are going to post. So definitely we need to post the same URL here. Sorry, not that URL. Here is the URL. Okay. Or you can take the URL from your listing page also. Look at here. Listing page have the URL. Let's copy this line. URL remains same always, where you can update, delete, list and everything. Let me go here and I'll take here the URL. I'll add here, right? In this URL, we are going to post what? The EMP info. Two parameter. While posting, you need two parameter. One is called URL, second one is called array. Look at the previous file. While fetching, only one URL is required. But anyhow, it's based on fetch method. So you can come back to this Axios understand first. Okay. So we are here. EMP info got ready. This value has come from the text boxes. Array got ready. Array got ready. URL is also ready. Now on this URL, we are going to post the another array. For what purpose? To add inside the list. Then you can follow here call then as a promise function. After that, then you will follow again call a response variable, and in this response variable you will get some data. That data will not come from there, some status will come. So we are going to call the update process message function we are going to call. And in that you pass some fixed value saying like, see here is the emp name. If I'll add here like this and I do, so what will happen? It will become dynamic. It will say Ganesh added successfully. It will say Ramesh added successfully. Suppose your employee name you are adding called Suresh, so it will say Suresh plus save successfully. Successfully, right? So hope you got idea what we are doing. With the help of process message function, we are generating a new message and we are sending to where? Message variable. And anyhow Axios will post this employee info to this URL and it will get added. Now let's come back. Let's come back here. Button click, we need to test whether it is happening or not. Message function already we have printed below. Message variable already we have printed below, right? So let's revise once. See, first you imported the Axios, you follow the use state. After that you created the some constant and variable function using use state. After that this variable functions, these functions we called here on change everywhere. For the text boxes on change to pick the value, we called here, we called here, we called here. On click we are calling the save function. Look at the save function. Save function is creating a new array and that array is getting posted to this URL, right? JSON server URL plus employee information. And finally we are generating a message particular name save successfully. Let me go to the browser and show you the demo. This is my page. This is my page. Let me refresh once. I will go here. What old employee? Old employee we have one, college is CRM, right? I will add here call something Ramesh. I'll enter the mobile number. I'll enter the department, marketing. I will enter here salary 12,000 and click on save. Awesome, it's saying Ramesh save successfully. And look at the list whether Ramesh is coming or not. See, perfectly Ramesh is coming, right? Here the message was coming the left side. Let me modify a little. Here I will give a line equal to center, save it. Let's try again. Okay, so it's refreshed. I'll write here call Suresh. His mobile number is, right? After that he belong to HR department and his salary is 30,000. Let me save now. Perfect. It is saying Suresh successfully, add save successfully. Let me verify under the employee list. Awesome. You can see Suresh came here. Exactly same record, everything. See, employee ID is generating automatically. We have not passed that employee ID, it's coming dynamically. Let me add one more. Krishna. After that, his mobile number is infinite 2345678910910, and his department is, he belong to God department, and his salary is something. You can say infinite. Okay, click on save. It's saying Krishna added successfully. Where? To our list, right? So hope you understood what is happening. We are saving from one place, we are saving one place, and we are listing in another place, right? So in the next video, we will be seeing how to delete and edit, but one more work is pending here. Let's complete that. Let me add here called Alex. Alex mobile number something. Now his department is called something. You can say medical. After that, his salary is somewhere 45,000. Then let me click save. It's saying Alex save successfully, but we need to clear this text box. If you clear the text box, it will become very perfect. All the problem will get fixed here. Okay, so let me go here. How to clear the text box? First, look at here. You have a variable called emp name, mobile, department, and salary. I will call that variable here. I will call that variable here under the text boxes, saying it value equal to emp name. Okay, emp name. So variable I'm calling here emp name, then I'm calling here call emp mobile, and then I'll call here emp department dept in value property. All I'm calling through the value property emp dept. Next I'm going to call emp salary, emp salary, right? I added here. So what I did, the same variable I called inside the HTML, I am binding through the value property. Now what I will do, after saving the data, here at this place, xus dot then, here this line I should keep in the next line, xus dot then, here this happen, and with the help of process message, you are updating the message. Now at the same time, with the help of process name function will help me to clear the text box. In process name, what I did, I pass as a empty. Then response, okay. So what we did here, we call one function, process name is fine, no problem. This happened in the wrong place, right? After that, this is my function xus dot then dot post. Okay, let's see here, process, this one we call, let me call one more, process, which one, mobile, or maybe process name empty, xus dot post, then response has come, response. After that, this response is here. Here we call one function process name was okay, you need to keep the comma, process name, it shows the error here, xus is end at this place. Okay, no problem. So I can cut this. We have multiple option. So this is let it be same. Don't modify anything in that. It was working well, right? Here, let's correct it again. Okay, till here you are sure what is happening. Come here. Name keep as empty. Then keep process mobile. Pass inside is empty. Again, call the process department dpt. Inside also pass is empty. Now last one we have called process salary. Process salary, pass inside also as a empty. Understand the flow first. See, whichever the value you are passing to the process message, it is going to message variable. Similar way, whichever the value will pass to process name, so we are passing as a empty under the process name. So empty will go to where? EMP name. Below you can see process mobile you are passing as a empty, where it will go to the EMP mobile. Now look down, this variable EMP mobile name empty department salary you made is empty, and below you are calling that value equal to what? Value equal to EMP name. That is EMP name is empty now. So value will become empty. Here EMP mobile is empty. So what will happen? text box will become empty. Let's see how it is. I'll go here, I'll refresh the page, I'll see here call Madhu. After that, number, coming to the department, HRM department, salary 23,000. Click on save. See, Madhu added successfully, text box become empty. Let me go here, Madhu came here, right? Let me add one more, Raju. Raju, mobile number something, department, marketing, and salary 25,000. Right? Click on save. Saying Raju saved successfully, text box become empty, and I can see here Raju is coming. In case, see this data is coming here, but you can see last record is coming in the last. In case if you want to display on the top, simple, you know in the JavaScript there is, we have a function called reverse. Go to the listing page, and in the listing page, emp list dot reverse dot map. So what will happen? Whichever the data is coming from the JSON file, it is coming in ascending order. While printing, we added the reverse. So data will get reverse. So last record will come on the top. Emp list dot reverse. Let me go here and see my data is getting refreshed or not. Oh, it's coming in the same order. It's coming in the same order. Reverse. What is the REVE emp list dot reverse dot map? REVERSE reverse. I have read the data here. emp list. Okay, emp list. I think you can't reverse it. So what you can do here? Dot reverse. You need to apply here only. Hold on. Reverse is not working here. So I'll go there because the emp is the constant. On constant you cannot modify anything. So here while calling this function, emp all emp dot REVERSE. Apply the reverse function here. All emp dot reverse. So imply will get reverse, array will get reverse, and then it will go to the emp list. Oh, awesome, it's happening. Your record got reversed. See here, it's coming reverse order, right? Then you will ask why it was not happening. Then because emp list is the constant. Outside of that function you cannot modify. We are trying to modify here. So it was wrong. So what we should do? Only the update emp function only can do anything under the emp list, right? So hope you guys, you understood what is happening. We are able to save the data. We are able to save the data. We are able to list the data, right? Saving the data, listing the data, both is happening. And let's see in the next video, deleting the data as well as editing the data. So I believe you enjoy the session, and then hope you have already completed the first video. And then if you have not seen, please see the first video, then see the next second video. And while watching the video, I suggest you should implement it. Okay, keep the system ready, play the video, first video, implement the routing. Then again, if first is done, then come to the second video, again play the video, watch for 10 minutes and start implementing, because it is based on JSON. That is very, very important. As well as on the top of that, it is completely using the hooks that you can see here. I am following the fetch method, I am following use state, use effect, right? Current that market demands nowadays. Okay, in the implies list also you can see new imply. I have follow here the Axios. I'll give you example for the using fetch also. Okay, so here also I follow completely everything based on what? Based on hooks only, right? It's important. So hope you enjoy the session, and again thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. It's helpful for you and helpful for everyone. Okay, so thanks a lot. Let's see you. Bye bye in the third video that will be coming soon.